I've been working on edgings for scarves knit on my new Kiss loom, and as you are probably aware, I love the tuck rib edging, and I make it various ways on various pieces of equipment, and I think this is going to be the best way to make it on the Kiss loom. First 2 stitches we wrap normally. In this case I'm skipping stitch 1 because of slipping the first stitch on each edge. Then wrap all the way across to the pin way over here. Continue normally. And when we reach the same position, 2 pins in, on the other side, I'm going to wrap it as well, rather than the near pin. Now it's just time to knit all these off normally, but we're ignoring the ones held on the pins. Eventually the ones held on the pins will become so prolific that they get in the way, and I probably have about 8 of them on there now. So we are reaching that point, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, normally knitted knit row. We're just going to ditch all those loops. Nothing terrible will happen because they're not stitches. They can't run. They may tend to make the stitches next to them widen out a little bit, but you'll soon see what we'll do about that. Now we have all these loops, and here is where I stopped latching up. So I'm going to resume latching up. Take the latch tool, put it in the last good stitch, slide it behind the first rung, grab the second one, and pull. And these stitches that were tending to loosen up left and right of this column will start tightening up again, and you've got some control over how much they do so. Under one, grab one, pull. Under one, grab one, pull. Under one, grab one, and that's as far as I can reach. So I will just put my safety pin back on it. On the other side, ignore this lower edge. I tried another idea that didn't pan out, so I didn't start the tuck rib as low. But here is the last loop that I latched up properly. Under one, grab the next one, pull through, under, grab, pull, under, grab, pull, under, grab. See, that one got a little narrow, but when I give it a tug, it'll come back out. The stitches nearby borrowed that space. And if I had another safety pin handy, I could secure this stitch with it. Have a look at something interesting. It shows up maybe a little bit better on this edge. There's our column of tuck rib stitches. Let me get something to point with. Right there. And there are 2 stitches on the edge before that, but the first of them flips to the back, making it look as though there are 2 columns of tuck stitches on the back. There are not, but well, actually there are now, but we didn't knit them that way. Also take note, these seem to match, and you would wonder why, since we only latched every other rung. But remember, we slipped every other row, so that's a kind of a nifty thing that this edge stitch will turn under, and it stopped from rolling any farther than this by the tuck rib column. Another thing to take note of, look at the number of pegs I'm knitting on and the width of the fabric. My fabric is a little bit wider than the original width, and this is, I'm knitting stockinette worsted weight at 4 stitches per inch, but this is creating some extra space. Remember, when we wrap all the way across, we're using enough yarn for a whole extra column of stitches, which we are then creating. Therefore, if I were to knit all 29 needles plus 2 columns of tuck rib, it would be as though I had knitted a 31 needle width. So I just thought that was something you might like to play with. This technique is specifically for the Kiss loom, because other looms don't have pins to hang it onto just directly across. We might be able to adapt the technique for them, but this is a Kiss loom specific technique at the moment.